Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Geography with Joy. This is Subhalakshmi and we are discussing about the classification of rocks. Today we are going to discuss about sedimentary rocks in detail. This is a very interesting topic and I am sure you are going to enjoy my video too. Please subscribe my channel and like and share my video. Let's start the discussion now. The topic to be discussed today is about sedimentary rocks, and the outline of the topic is meaning of sedimentary rocks, their characteristics, classification of sedimentary rocks, and at the end, uses of sedimentary rocks in our day-to-day life. Let's discuss the topic in detail now. Sedimentary rocks. The word sedimentary is derived from the Latin word sedimentum, which means setting. All rocks are subjected to weathering and broken up into fragments. Such fragments are transported by gravity, running water, glaciers and wind, etc., and deposited in layers elsewhere. Most sedimentary rocks are deposited and formed in large water bodies. The transported materials, called sediments, are usually deposited as horizontal beds in the oceans, lake floors, and compacted by the weight of the overlying material and water into solid rock. This process of compaction of the layers of rocks that forms sedimentary rock is called lithification. It includes the cementation of the sediments due to their own weight. They are secondary rocks as they are formed by the solidification of sediments of original igneous, sedimentary, or metamorphic parent rocks. They are also known as derived rocks as the materials are derived from other rocks. These rocks are in fact known by various names, as most of the rock debris is deposited in water bodies. These rocks are called as argillaceous rocks. The process of sedimentation continues for a long time, and the sediments are derived from different sources. As a result, these rocks have layers due to which they are given names like stratified or layered rocks. The particles in the sediments get sorted out in the water bodies according to their sizes. Generally, the larger particles form the lower layers, while the finer particles form upper layers. This sorting of sediments is also a cause of presence of layers or strata in the rocks formed through sedimentation. The sediments consist of loose particles of gravel, sand, silt, and clay in various proportions, and hence they are porous and permeable. They are soft and can be scratched easily. The loose particles get consolidated or compacted into hard rocks by the presence of cementing substances like lime or the presence of overlying deposits. They are separated by bedding planes. Sedimentary rocks cover 75% of the surface of the continents. Another important property of sedimentary rock is the presence of remains of plants and animals between layers of sediments. These remains get preserved between the strata of sedimentary rocks. These organic remains or their skeletal impressions are called fossils. Fossils help us in fixing the relative ages of rocks. The two most common examples of sedimentary rocks are sandstone. It is the cementation of the grains of sand, and chalk, which is composed of calcium carbonate, the skeletons of microorganisms. Processes involved in the formation of sedimentary rocks. Lithification means turning the loose sediments into hard rocks. Transported sediments are deposited layer upon layer. This builds up pressure and temperature. Three processes are involved in turning the loose materials into hard rocks. They are evaporation, compaction, and cementation. Let's learn about these three processes briefly now. Evaporation. In this case, water from loose materials is evaporated, as in the case of rock salt. The accumulation of rock salt mainly takes place through evaporation before being compacted and cemented. Look at the picture. These are rock salt. These are formed through the process of evaporation, and this is a type of sedimentary rock. Next is compaction. In this process, sediments, after piling up, are gradually squeezed by the weight of overlying layers and hardness of underlying layers. Sand is compacted in this way to sandstone. Look at the picture here. This is a shell stone. Shell is one of the most common sedimentary rocks. It is composed of silt or clay that has been compacted or squeezed together to form a solid rock. Shale is usually found in thin layers. The next process is cementation. It is the bonding together of compacted sediments by natural materials such as calcium compounds, silica, and iron, all of which have the properties of bonding on the loose materials. It is the last stage in the formation of a sedimentary rock. The cement forms an integral and important part of the rock, and its precipitation affects the porosity and permeability of the rock. Many minerals may become cements. The most common is silica. Have a look at the picture. This is a sandstone. Sandstone is a clastic sedimentary rock that forms from the cementing together of sand-sized grains, forming a solid rock. Quartz is the most abundant mineral that forms sandstone. Now, let's learn about the characteristics of sedimentary rocks. Sedimentary rocks are characterized by many special features. Let's have a look. The material of sedimentary rocks is derived from the pre-existing rocks of any of the three rock classes, as well as from newly formed organic matter. They are formed in layers or strata and are known as stratified rocks. The layers of these rocks are sometimes horizontal and at times tilted due to lateral compressive and tension forces. Sedimentary rocks are deposited in the seas and oceans in a sequential order. The larger particles form the lower layers, while the fine particles form the upper layer. Ripple marks are seen on these rocks. It helps to reveal or determine the ancient current directions. They are porous and allow water to pass through. They do not have crystals. They may be formed through different processes and are also classified on the basis of their formation. As these rocks are soft, they are prone to weathering and erosion. They are characterized by different sizes of joints. These joints are generally perpendicular to the bedding plane. They are most widespread on the surface of the earth and constitute about 75% of the surface area of the globe. Sedimentary rocks make extensive landforms. They contain fossils, the remnant parts of the dead plants and animals. The age of the given rock may be determined on the basis of the study of the fossil found on that rock. They hold all reserves of coal, oil, and natural gas. Sedimentary rocks may be well consolidated, poorly consolidated, or even unconsolidated. The riverine sedimentary rocks develop cracks when exposed to the sun. These cracks are generally of polygonal shape. Coming to another important part of the topic, the classification of sedimentary rocks. Based on the nature of sediments, their origin, composition, and mode of formation, sedimentary rocks can be classified into three broad categories. They are mechanically formed sedimentary rocks, chemically formed sedimentary rocks, and organically formed sedimentary rocks. Let's learn about each type of sedimentary rock now in detail. Mechanically formed sedimentary rocks. The sedimentary rocks that are formed after the physical breakup and compaction of rocks are called mechanically formed sedimentary rocks. Sandstone, conglomerate, loess, shale, etc. are good examples of mechanically formed sedimentary rocks. Mechanical sediments are derived from the process of denudation of the land. These are called the detrital sediments or clastic sediments. Agents like wind, water, glaciers, and rainwater break down rocks into fragments. These sediments are transported and deposited in layers. These layers get deposited one over the other. With the passage of time, these layers get cemented together to form mechanically formed sedimentary rocks. The particles or sediments include sand, gravel, clay, and silt. The loose, unconsolidated rock particles like sand and clay become hard and compact due to the pressure to form sandstone and shale respectively. The rocks like conglomerate and breccia are a result of cementation. Sandstone is a sedimentary rock formed by the consolidation of deposits of sand. Remains of shell-bearing organisms or lime help in consolidating the loose sand particles into sandstone. Sandstone consists of mainly quartz of various colors. A coarse type of sandstone is known as grit. Siltstone consists of deposits of silt. They consist of particles transitional in size between clay and sand. These mechanical sediments may also be classified on the basis of the agent which deposited them. Deposits laid down by rivers are called alluvial sediments. Those laid down by glaciers are known as moraines. Sediments of coarse size laid down by winds are called sand dunes. Fine wind-borne sediments are known as loess deposits. Loess is also called an aeolian deposit. It is soft and porous and is extensive in North China. Wave deposited sediments consist of gravel, sand, and silt. Look at these pictures. These are different types of sedimentary rocks. This is a shell stone. Deposits of clay get hardened to form a rock called shellstone or mudstone. Shell is a smooth, soft rock which has a tendency to break into thin layers. This is a sandstone. Sandstone is a sedimentary rock formed by the consolidation of deposits of sand. Sandstone consists of mainly quartz of various colors. This is a siltstone. Siltstone consists of deposits of silt. And this is a conglomerate. Conglomerates are formed by the cementation of rounded pebbles near seashores or riverbeds. The next is chemically formed sedimentary rocks. Chemical sediments are commonly formed by the process of evaporation of water containing salts in solution. In desert regions, shallow lakes get evaporated, leaving behind a layer of salts on the surface. These get consolidated into sedimentary rocks. Rock salt is an example of chemically formed sedimentary rock common in the Dead Sea, Caspian Sea, Aral Sea and Sambhar Lake in Rajasthan. Gypsum or calcium sulfate is obtained from the evaporation of salt lakes such as the Dead Sea, which have a very high salinity. These rocks also exhibit a crystalline texture. They occur in rocks produced by the accumulation of siliceous or calcareous shells. Most of these rocks are found in a marine environment. Hence, they are most likely to have fossils within them. Potash and nitrates, limestone and magnesium are examples of chemical sediments. Certain substances get precipitated due to chemical changes. These substances get converted into hard rocks like calcite or dolomite. These are few examples of chemically formed sedimentary rocks. These are rock salt. This is a limestone. Limestone can be precipitated from water secreted by marine organisms such as algae and coral, or can form from the shells of dead sea creatures. This is dolomite and this is gypsum. All are obtained from the evaporation of salt water. The third types of rocks are organically formed sedimentary rocks. Organic sediments are those which are derived from the accumulation of remains of organisms. Corals are shellfish whose fleshy parts have been decomposed. Limestone and chalk are examples of rocks composed of organic sediments. Depending on the type of organic matter, these rocks are divided into two types. They are calcareous sedimentary rocks and carbonaceous sedimentary rocks. The calcareous rocks contain calcium and include shells and skeletons of dead marine animals. These shells undergo cementation to form limestone and chalk. Coral reefs are formed by the cementation of coral polyps. Decarbonaceous rocks are formed by the decay and decomposition of plants. They are rich in carbon. Coal is the best example and has different stages in its formation. Peat, lignite, bituminous, and anthracite are the different varieties of coal. These are coal. Coal is very rich in carbon and is a biochemical rock. During the Carboniferous period, lush green vegetation thrived and then died in the tropical swamps, forming coal. It is the best example of organically formed sedimentary rocks. So far, you have learnt about the classification of sedimentary rocks along with their characteristics. Let's summarize the topic with the help of this mind map. Based on the nature of sediments, their origin, composition, and mode of formation, sedimentary rocks are basically classified into three broad categories. They are mechanically formed, organically formed, and chemically formed sedimentary rocks. Mechanically formed rocks are formed after the physical breakup and compaction of rocks. Organically formed rocks are formed from the accumulation of remains of organisms. And chemically formed sedimentary rocks are formed by the process of evaporation of water containing salt in solution. Depending on the type of organic matter present, organically formed sedimentary rocks are again subdivided into two types. They are calcareous sedimentary rocks and carbonaceous sedimentary rocks. Calcareous rocks contain calcium and include shells and skeletons of dead marine animals, whereas carbonaceous rocks are formed by the decay and decomposition of plants. At the end, let's talk about economic importance of sedimentary rocks. Sedimentary rocks are of great economic importance. In fact, they have been a controlling factor in the development of industry, society, and culture. Let's have a look. Oil, natural gas, coal, and uranium, our major energy resources, are formed in and come from sedimentary rocks. Sand and gravel for construction come from sediments. Sandstone and limestone are used for building stone. Rock gypsum is used to make plaster. Limestone is used to make cement. Salt is used for flavoring. Phosphate-bearing sedimentary rocks are used for fertilizer. Quartz sand is used to make glass. And last but not the least, they are a source of rich alluvial soil. And that's all for today. I hope you have understood the concept thoroughly and enjoyed my video too. In my next video, we will discuss about metamorphic rock in detail. Stay connected. Do share my video with your friends and relatives. Thanks for watching. See you again. Till then, take care and have a nice day.